Hello everyone, welcome to Basically Netta. I'm Netta and this is my February wrap-up. So in the month of February, I read 5 books, and out of those 5 books, 4 of them were 3-star rated and 1 was 5-star rated. And I'm just going to talk about them in the order that I finished them. So the first book that I finished in the month of February was The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. So I also have a video review for this one. If you like to go check that out, feel free to go do that. I'm just going to talk very briefly about this one. So this is a high fantasy novel where we follow 3 young characters who are in a school for gifted. They are Davian, Wire, and Asha. Davian is not doing very well in his classes, and their trial is coming up, and he's worried about that. So this story is very like an adventure coming of age story. These are 16-year-old teenagers who are trying to figure themselves out and try to figure out what their magical abilities are. And there are 2 different kinds of magic in this book. There is the gifted, and then there's the godlike magic of the augurs. So this story has a lot of twists and foreshadowing. That is like a lot in this. And it takes away from the plot of the story, and like it didn't give a very nice flowing feeling to the reader. And it's also things that I could predict. Like I literally predict things as they were coming, and then there was a character that I figured, like when we met him, I figured out who he was, and it just was very predictable to me. And the other part that I didn't enjoy was you would be following like the characters, and you could see that if they do one move, it's gonna go wrong, and if they go another move, it will be okay. And the character would just go and do the wrong thing, and it was just like, okay, was that on purpose? Was that on purpose for the character to do the wrong thing and they were trying to learn something? Or the other way around? Well, this is the first book, and it is trying to set up for the other parts of the story that's gonna come. So I'm not sure if that was the point, but it really wasn't my kind of story. It was okay. It was entertaining enough that I actually finished the book. So I gave it a 3-star rating. And yeah. And then the second book that I read this month was Malice by Gwynne. This is a Norse mythology inspired book, fantasy book. I also have a review of this one with Mask of Mirrors, if you want to go check that out as well. Yeah, so I'm going to speak briefly about this one as well, and the next one will be Mask of Mirrors. So Malice has a lot of main characters who are like, it's basically an adventure fantasy story. And it just there are way too many side characters. The main characters meet all these side characters, and I guess it's trying to explain the backstory of these characters, these main characters, but then it takes away from the main plot, in my opinion. Just be my thing. You might love what that comes with, but in my opinion, it just took away from the plot, and it was kind of distracting, and I wish there wasn't as many side characters. And the main characters are all male. You don't see any female characters going on this journey. There are some side female characters, like I think there's 2, but there aren't that many of them. And yeah, it was just a high fantasy Norse mythology. That's the only thing that is a bit different from all the other high fantasies. I think it's just Norse that is based on Norse mythology. And yeah, it was okay, it was fine. I just thought it would be a bit different than all the other ones. But yeah, I give it a 3-star rating. And I don't know if I'll continue with this one. The third book that I read, as I mentioned, is Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. This is the story of a con artist who is trying to steal from a high society family by telling them that she is a long lost family member. And what she doesn't realize is that this family is actually on the verge of going bankrupt. And the story goes from there. It has dream magic. It has is very character driven. There's a lot of politics. These social high society socials are very political, as you can say, and there's a lot of feud between these families. So yeah, that's if that's what you like, then go ahead and pick this up, but it just wasn't for me. So I gave it a 3-star rating, as it was like well written, but I just didn't enjoy the storyline. And then the fourth book that I read in the month of February was Engines of Empire by Richard S. Ford. This is high fantasy again, with a bit of like steampunk and what else? Yeah, it's more steampunkish than the magic system. Like there's not much magic in this, unless I missed that part. So there are 3 characters who are being trained to take their place in the society, and they're highborn, and we follow them throughout this story. And then yeah, as I said, it's a character driven book, and yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. It was just what it is. If you like steampunk with a bit of magic and character driven story, go ahead and pick this one up. It was a 3-star rating for me. And then the last book that I read this month, which is I love this book. This is Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. I enjoyed this one really, really much. I enjoyed it so much. The premise of this is that there are 2 thieves who are Adrian and Royce. They are thieves for hire. They end up getting a job to steal a sword, and then they end up being framed for the murder of the king. So they have to prove that they weren't the murderers. And this was so much fun to read. It is an adventure story with magic and mystery and politics. and there's so many like comedic points. Like, just Hadrian and Royce have these like bromance chemistry that makes it so unique, and it's so like they end up being very serious at these points, but it's so comedic that it makes you just laugh out loud while you're reading. I love this book so much. I got the audiobook on Libby because I wanted to read it when I was like on my break at work and stuff, and then I would come home and pick up my physical book and then read it. So it was that good. Like, it just so good. It was so captivating, and yeah, it's just joy to read this. And I totally recommend this one to everybody. I gave it a 5-star rating. I will definitely pick up the next one, and yeah, it was fun. So yeah, those were all my 5 books that I read. I am in the middle of I didn't finish one book, but I'm kind of pushing that one to March because I didn't finish it. I started it in February, but I'm gonna push it in March, just to finish it, because I just started it at the end of the week, so it makes no sense. And I'm just gonna finish it later. So if you have read any of these books, let me know down below what you think about them. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, please press the like button and press the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.